Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. The first test match, of course, Pakistan versus West Indies, off to a delayed start due to bad weather and foggy conditions marring the start of play almost till after 1 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. And I'll be very honest, as a cricket fan myself, I was very, very disappointed. And I must say that the Pakistan Cricket Board, although I understand that the other venues are under reconstruction because of the Champions Trophy, but still, I mean, losing almost 3 to 4 hours of play is something dreadful in a test series which already has only 2 test matches. But that being said, I would believe that it's worked in our favour that the test match started late. Otherwise, I would have believed that West Indies would have batted by their first innings and Pakistan would have been wrapped out, because it was a disastrous start once again for Pakistan, who failed once again to handle, I would say, just regulation bowling. I saw nothing special, although I understand that the pitch is a lot more dry than what we would have expected. But we talk about certain batters, especially the onus on Shan Masood, on Babar Azam, on Kamran Ghulam. I must say that I am pretty much disappointed once again. And all you need on this kind of surface is to just bat your way out. I was just discussing it before the show started that, maybe you just don't need to be that busy. Maybe you just need to play regulation test cricket. Just as you're batting in the nets, just take your time. And that's something that Saud Shakil does brilliantly well. So Pakistan's chances are still very much, I won't say Pakistan is out of the test match. It's a long way to go. And if their bowlers have troubled us, then we've got the better arsenal to trouble them as well. But then again, I must ask more now from our top order batters. We're going to discuss that in detail as well. And I would believe once again that Pakistan, if you look at the entire course of this test series, the 2 test matches, it was asked by Shan Masood at the start as well. And he made a very particular comment which I would like to discuss. So Shan Masood said that I believe that Pakistan can take advantage of their own home conditions and they can win test matches and they can get used to it as well. And that's the way we should start a test championship. So I agree with him, but I would also like him to say that, it's about time now that he steps up as a batter as well. So I think that's very, very important. Then we move on to discuss the ICC T20 World Cup for women. Pakistan is going to be facing USA. I think it's a big challenge because USA has got a tremendous investment in women's cricket, especially on the youth level. And Pakistan, well, we all know that women's cricket in Pakistan is not a favorite subject for many, especially the PCB. So I think that disappointment continues. So we'll talk about Pakistan's chances. Then we move on. We discuss football. Diallo's hat-trick has dragged Manchester United to a late win over Southampton. This is something that they'll salvage as well, and we'll update you on the latest news from football as well. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, joining us in studios is cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter and our sports expert, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm perfect, thank you.
We've also been joined by first-class cricketer and expert Kashif Majid. Assalamu alaikum, sir, how are you?
Walaikum Ahmed, perfectly all right, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And also joining us is former player for Cricket Scotland and also cricket commentator Qasim Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum, Qasim. How are you? Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum salam, alhamdulillah. I'm good, thank you. And looking forward to having a chat.
Thank you very much for joining us as well. Now, Qasim, what would you highlight about Pakistan's start? I must say that, it was the spinners we're discussing, and I understand that the pitch was a bit difficult than what you're used to. It was a completely dried surface. But, the way we've gone out to pacers, it's not something where I would say it was extraordinary bowling. It was just, having that presence of mind which Pakistan top order batsmen once again failed to demonstrate.
Yeah, look, I echo your words at the top of the show. Sometimes you need to be prepared to play a little bit of old-fashioned, I would call it, test cricket. All this Bazball and everything that's been introduced now, they are suitable for certain kind of conditions. And England are certainly trying to play that brand of cricket. I don't think we necessarily need to follow suit. And I think what today required was the top order to just stay on the wicket, take their time, build an innings. But you're very right in highlighting that the shot selection was not great. They found themselves 4 wickets down with very little on the board. And very luckily, Saud Shakil has dug in again for his team, which he does quite often now for Pakistan. And Rizwan has also dug in for his team. But really, that is the responsibility of the top order.
Certainly. It was a difficult surface, Kashif, but as a batter yourself who's played in Pakistani conditions, you can also analyze that, as Qasim said as well, I think the word is pretty much correct, old-fashioned test cricket. Just spend as much time as you can on this surface and just wait for one of those odd deliveries. There was nothing extraordinary about this bowling that you'll get out in this fashion.
I think it's all about the mindset. You said we should have played the old-fashioned cricket. I tend to come up with another argument why if we started this test series citing that this will be a paradise for the spinners, then why we are allowing West Indian fast bowlers to settle in. Just play your natural strokes and play according to the merit. We go through the economy rate of those fast bowlers and in a wicket which is doing nothing for them. And this is very important that we should have seen that last column of economy of the West Indian fast bowlers, why we let them settle in and thinking that we'll be scoring against the spinners. If the pitch is suiting the spinners, then it will be the spinners paradise, and we should not allow the West Indian fast bowlers, because we already know the West Indian team are not good when it comes to bowling the spinners or even playing the spinners. So just destroy their main weapon, their fast bowling, and maybe that can be. Talking about the top order, none of them have played a quality strokes and got out. It's all about, even one of them have not used his bat and got out, and that was Kamran Ghulam, letting the ball and just making sure that no bat was involved. So this is where I think we lost the track. And just go through the innings of Rizwan and Saud Shakil. This is just important how you can tackle the spin as well as the fast bowling. Anything short outside the off stump should be dealt away with a quality cut strokes. Anything mid on the leg side should be dealt away with a quality flick, and rest is, I guess, you can just nudge around and play all those singers. So I think the tone was set by Saud Shakil and Rizwan how to go about this business in this test match.
Absolutely. Qasim, my friend, one of your favorite subjects, and when you get to ask about it, then people don't tend to like this question, even though Pakistan wins this test match, but there needs to be serious criticism on certain performances on the top of the order.
Why you're not mentioning the name, or you want me to take the name straight away? That is Shan Masood. Well, see, rightly said by Kashif and Qasim, that this is the pitch where you can go in a very stylish way. There is no need to go in, there is no need to show any sort of hurry, just play according to the merit. And as you were telling about the fast bowlers of West Indies, see these, the Jayden Seals, if you record, he played 17 test matches and 76 test wickets. It's not bad. But you know that the West Indies, they're missing Azari Joseph and Shamar Joseph. Both of them, they're not there. But even then, Pakistani top order is struggling. And a question mark, of course, that whenever I ask this question, I raise this point, the people, they don't like that why and what's happening with Shan Masood with the bat. Though we have criticized over his captaincy, over his some bad decisions, and now everybody is talking about his batting as well. The average is very mediocre, only 30, and the way he got out, that was a very a loosener even from the bowler. And he went for a flick shot and nicely taken by the wicketkeeper, a very simple and soft dismissal. Even Shan Masood wasn't believing on that what happened with me. So I think that yes, the pressure is on skipper, but rightly covered by Saud Shakil and Mohammad Rizwan. If you do remember that when he scored 100 against England in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, he has taken 71 singles in that 100. So this is the importance of test cricket, that your temperament will be tested, your technique will be tested, and I think that Saud and Rizwan, they're in a very good touch.
Well, they are, Asif, but the argument you're mentioning, I think particularly if we talk about Shan Masood, even early on the innings, West Indies went with a with an unusual sort of something which we've obviously seen in our part of the world. They started off with a spinner. Yeah. And Shan immediately was trying to reverse the ball, sweep the ball. That clearly shows that he's uncomfortable playing the spin.
Well, if he's uncomfortable, then why he's not telling to Javed, Aqib Javed, I beg your pardon, that please make pitches in the favor of for the both of the bowlers and the batters, for the spinners and the fast bowlers. See, it's not good that if you see the carry of ball on the first day, even hardly we haven't seen any sort of bounces there. This is test cricket. If we used to enjoy fast bowling in test cricket even in the past, especially when we talk about Waqar Yunus, Shoaib Akhtar, they were so scary when we talk about their bounces, even their reverse swing. But nowadays we're just missing, and we're just, concentrating on one thing, and that is, and depending on one thing, and that is our spin department. Because we don't have good fast bowlers, because we don't have bowlers who could bowl more than 140. So that's why they're on the back foot, but they're struggling. Even if they're making these pitches for themselves, even then you'd have to face bravely. You'd have to go with the straight bat. Ahmed, whenever we talk about that improvise, you should improvise. It's not T10, T20 cricket. It's 5-day cricket. And if you're playing reverse sweep shots on a very first over of the first day of this test match, I won't consider you as a proper test cricketer.
Well, certainly. But, it's been a curious case of Shan Masood, as I would say. I think on one hand, you've got the pressure of the captaincy. On the other hand, your numbers don't speak for that much as well. An average which is under 30 is being criticized a lot. Obviously, people would demand more. But the problem is right now that after these two test matches, the next Pakistan test campaign starts all the way in October when Pakistan travel to Bangladesh. And then, of course, in September, they've got South Africa coming. So there's a huge gap in which I think Shan Masood won't be rated that much. But on the other hand, he's still, going to be involved in the PSL. So, I mean, that is another ball game as well. Qasim, how would you analyze Shan Masood? I understand that, captaincy is not an easy task, and sometimes it gets the better of one of the best players in the world as well. But at the same time, your own performance needs to solidify that position as well.
First of all, enjoying listening to my co-commentator, my friend K. Asif, talk with such passion on this subject. Look, I agree with a lot of the points he's raised. You, as a Pakistani captain and as a top order batsman, it comes with the territory. It's a high pressure role. What I will say in Shan's favour is we just seen in the second Test match in South Africa, he had an excellent performance. He scored a big 100. Do I think he's done a fantastic job so far as captain? No, I think there's definitely areas of improvement. But I think he also took the team over at a time where there was a lot of rift going on between players, management, different changes of personnel. You can't expect somebody to just come in and everything to work instantly. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Short break, but stay tuned. We come right back. Welcome back. Of course, now discussing the Pakistan versus West Indies. Pakistan have still managed to salvage a couple of runs and without losing any more wickets up till stumps. But the fact still remains that it's going to be a very difficult day once again for Pakistan. If Saud Shakil and Rizwan manage to bat through, then Pakistan are well ahead of what they would have been thought would have been a good total, salvaging 4 wickets down. But there's a very important question at this moment that arises, and that's Pakistan's strategy towards home test matches from here onwards. And I think it looks to be very simple, that they're going to make these rank turners, these dry patches, and get the pitch to extract as much spin as they can with the low bounce and dominate home test matches. But that being said, Qasim, how would you actually comment on, you've also watched Pakistan's first class structure, of the longevity of this approach? At home you're okay, but what happens when Pakistan step out of their own comfort zone? How do they then balance the equation for a World Test Championship?
Yeah, I don't like it in particular. I think it's weighing way too heavy and reliable on your spin. And then when they went to South Africa, they expected their fast bowlers to deliver for them, and they left the two spinners off the pitch, which we spoke about this already, I didn't agree with. What has happened to Pakistani fast bowling? We were the pioneers of fast bowling, but if you keep making these dead pitches, no life in them. K. Asif mentioned that the first morning the ball is not even carrying to the keeper. They've made a very, very strong spin bowling attack. I'm sure the spin bowling will cause West Indies a lot of problems in the latter part of this test match. And yes, of course, you should use your home conditions to your favour. But to the point that your fast bowlers are getting no life out of it, and then you want them to go and play in other parts of the world where fast bowling is going to be needed, how are you going to be successful in the World Test Championship? You can't get to the final stages of the World Test Championship just winning test matches on your home soil. You need to be able to be consistent. And this is one area that I'm very disappointed with in Pakistani cricket. When I played the domestic cricket back in 2009, 2010, every team still had good fast bowlers. I went to the Guy Azam Trophy final. I watched it in front of me. No disrespect to the bowlers bowling, but I didn't see any standout pace bowler. And that's in the final of the Guy Azam. So it worries me and concerns me that what is the future of Pakistani fast bowling talent. So yes, you have to kind of balance this out a little bit. You can't just keep relying on your spinners on home conditions and then expect to compete when you go to other areas of the world.
Well, certainly, Kashif Majid, let's, I think, analyze Saud Shakil at this moment. He's got a fantastic test career so far. If you look at the 17 test matches, he's played an average of 52.6. Before that, if I look at his career of first class, 82 first class matches, more than 6,000 runs, 49.6 average. It's not just about the innings he's playing here. We remember that innings against England, Pakistan were down and out, and his innings actually helped Pakistan win the series as well. And if you technically analyze him, I think he's actually done what was needed on these kinds of surfaces. He's a great player of spin, as you always mention. He loves rotating the strike, which helps his case as well. It's just about, how others revolve around him.
It's how he uses his bat every time to cope up with every possible delivery. It's just not about a copybook stuff of going and playing a forward defensive stroke. It's always about using his feet. And when we talk about the feet movement, it's just not about using the feet to coming and come down the track. It's always going back into the crease, using the crease as well. There are a number of strokes where he played, and his back would landed behind the stumps on the leg side. This is where anyone who wants to play quality spin can learn from the Saud Shakil. Second important thing, on a slightly funnier side, the way Saud Shakil is batting and using his bat and using his feet movement. Ahmed and K. Asif, in our young days, we used to play one tip out where there is certain conditions that you have to follow. And this is where it's very, we can visualize those playing days of ours where we has to use our bat and place those ball into the gaps because there were so many closing fielders around us. And this is very important for any player to find out that it's always the bat and its rotation and the wrist movement in your through your arms that you can create those gaps, and it's very important which Saud Shakil is doing. If you allow me, talking about fast bowling and Pakistani fast bowling, I love those wickets. Apart from that it's extraordinarily favoring the spin. When we talk about the fast bowling and the art of Pakistani fast bowlers throughout our history, it's always about the dead tracks. It's always. I haven't seen a greenish track in Pakistan producing a 100-mile fast bowler. It has to be a dead track because at that dead track, someone has to bend his bat to extract reverse swing and to extract pace. So, from 2002 2016, there was the cricket in the northern part of the region which destroyed the art of quality fast bowling. I'm not talking about
have a look at some of these dismissals right now. The Hurera, I'm utterly disappointed. I thought he was going good. For somebody to be on debut to start like this, I thought he's going to find it. But look at this dismissal. I mean, down the leg side, it's just simple regulation, nothing special in this delivery. And all he's done is, just made a mess of himself. There you go. And, what I was expecting him to do after this was he's going to show the bat as he imitates Steve Smith. So like I said, sometimes you just need to play basic cricket and stop with your shenanigans. And that's what, once again, Kamran Ghulam, and there you go, Babar Azam. Simple, lazy dismissal. So all of these dismissals right now, Kashif, like I said, they're lazy dismissals.
And none of them is playing a stroke. They are just fending or defending outside the off stump very casually, thinking, okay, it's a spinner's friendly wicket, so fast bowler can't do nothing. But this is where the answer lies in. If a quality fast bowling with 140 plus kph bending his back, getting ball to jag round, he can deliver on those wickets too. And this is a tailor-made wicket for all those fast bowlers we are taking the names. Think about Wasim Akram after 15 or 20 overs in this track with the ball becoming soft and it's reversing. I think from starting from 20 over to 60 over, It's all about reversing. It's all about the passion of bowling fast. You know, we are protecting too much when it comes to our fast bowlers. We want them to go and bend their backs, and this is where the art of fast bowling lies in for Pakistan.
Kiasif, a simple adjustment that I was able to make in my very humble and small local cricket career was that if I would believe as a batter that the ball is keeping low and there is a little bit of swing on offer with that low bounce, instead of just being a picture perfect batter and for somebody to take my picture from the crowd, I would actually just take a step on the off stump and try to play the ball in front of my body instead of making it go away from me and getting the edge into play, or at the same time if I'm moving one step there, I'm eliminating that chance for the leg before wicket as well. So these simple adjustments, so it's an international career which they should have been aware of.
Ahmed, you're a very good cricket coach as well, and I will definitely learn some art of batting from you. The way you are telling, and the interesting thing which I have heard from Kashif Bhai, that in early days, or maybe in schools, in colleges, we used to play this one tip. And that was so helpful, to be honest, when we used to go to play the club match. It's against the spinners, that you have to wait as there is no need to go forward or behind. You have to wait the delivery. Either you will have to play with the soft hand simply, and you will try to duck it out. That's it. And the way you are talking about that, if you are playing these kind of fast bowlers, see that his pace is around 138, 37. But the good thing is that his line was absolutely perfect. And as you said that, and Kashif Bhai was mentioning, they didn't go for the drive. They didn't go for a full shot. They were nervous something, or they were so easy or lazy. They were not expecting this kind of swing actually. The early on with the new ball, Seals was so good. And Kamran Ghulam's dismissal, if you see that, he went for a left. You should understand that he's not bowling with 140 or 145. He's bowling just 135, 37, and then there is no big swing. But even then, you'd have to go with the straight bat, which Ahmed was actually mentioning, and Ahmed was showing his class in the coaching as well. So that was a very simple method. But I think batters, they were not ready even for this kind of fast bowling as well. What's going on?
But Shahid Islam Saab is there as the batting coach.
Sorry?
Asif, Shahid Islam Saab is there as the batting coach. I think he's got his work cut out. And although this is not grassroots level cricket, but these are adjustments that should be made on this level. I mean, if we can talk about it, these are international cricketers. They're professionals.
Well, see, their credit goes to their skipper as well, that he has taken, if you talk about his field placement, very nice, close to the batters. There is no need to he was trying to put pressure on the batters, and Pakistani batters, they were under pressure, to be honest, that the way Babar Azam got out, or maybe I'll talk about the Shan Masood's dismissal. 4 fielders, Selim it off, Selim it on, leg slip. So 4 fielders were over there, and Shan was under pressure there. And then, of course, when we talk about the new guy, of course, congratulations to Herrera that you got a chance. I don't want to talk about, but that was credit goes to Seals. That was good length area, a bit of swing, and then Herrera, he missed that line. That's the only point.
Certainly. Well, thank you very much, K. Asif. Thank you very much, Kashif Majid, and thank you very much, Qasim Sheikh, for joining us. I would agree with K. Asif on the final note, is that the captaincy from West Indies was absolutely brilliant. And their skipper did mention at the toss as well, when he was asked, he said, I would have batted first, but the fact is that now, because we're bowling first, we've got an opportunity. It's a challenge, we're going to take it. And that's what they did, because they realized that spinners are going to be effective, but the fast bowlers in their limited capacity need to take wickets. And that's what the field placement and the planning was, and that's why it was successful. That being said, Pakistan have still managed to pull the last session back. Credit to Saud Shakil and Rizwan. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day. That wraps up Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.